Chrome. If you're watching this, there's a 2 in 3 chance you're watching it in Chrome right now. Google launched it in 2008, and today it runs about 65% of the entire web, more than every other browser on this list combined. It's fast, it syncs across all your devices, and it has an extension for basically anything. More than 3 billion people use it, which makes it less a browser and more the front door to the internet itself. Under the hood sits an engine called Blink, the piece of software that actually turns code into the page you see. And remember that word, because it's about to show up everywhere. Here's the catch. Chrome is built by an advertising company, and you are the product. It watches what you browse to feed Google's ad machine, and it's famous for eating your RAM, your computer's short-term memory, until your laptop fan sounds like a jet taking off. It's the default the whole world reaches for without thinking. The rest of this list is really just 8 different answers to one question. What would you change about Chrome? The next one barely changed anything at all. Edge, Microsoft's browser, and the one already sitting on your Windows PC, whether you asked for it or not. It launched in 2015 to replace Internet Explorer, the browser everyone loved to hate, and Microsoft badly wanted it to win. So in 2020, they did something almost funny. They gave up building their own engine and rebuilt Edge on Chromium, the exact open source engine that powers Chrome. Microsoft spent 20 years fighting Google's browser, then quietly started running Google's browser in a different coat. Because it shares Chrome's engine, Edge is genuinely fast and can run every Chrome extension. It's also the pushiest browser alive. It begs you to keep it as default, buries Bing and its Copilot AI in every corner, and is weirdly hard to fully remove. So Edge is Chrome with Microsoft's logo, and Microsoft's nagging bolted on top. That's the first time we've seen a rival that's secretly the same engine underneath. And it won't be the last. The next one runs on Chrome too, but it actually gives you a reason to switch. Brave, a browser built specifically for people who are sick of being tracked. It arrived in 2016 from Brendan Eich, the man who invented JavaScript, the language that runs almost every website. So this is someone who knows exactly how the web spies on you. Brave is built on Chromium, same as Chrome and Edge, so pages load identically. The difference is what it does the second one loads. It blocks ads and trackers by default. No add-on required. The strange part is the reward system. Brave will optionally show you its own privacy-respecting ads and pay you in a cryptocurrency called BAT for looking at them, a browser that pays you to use it. The catch is that this whole crypto layer feels bolted on, and plenty of people just want an ad blocker without a coin wallet attached. Still, at its core, Brave is Chrome with the surveillance ripped out. Where Brave sells itself on privacy, the next one sells itself on something no other browser dares to brag about: control over your own machine. Opera, one of the oldest names here. It started back in 1995 in Norway, long before Chrome existed. For years it survived as the clever browser power users swore by, and today it runs on, you guessed it, Chromium. But Opera's real trick is its gaming version, Opera GX, and it does something no rival offers. It lets you put a hard limit on how much RAM, processor, and network your browser is allowed to steal, so it never chokes your game mid-match. It also has a free VPN and Twitch and Discord built right into the sidebar. The catch is trust. Opera was bought by a Chinese consortium back in 2016, and for a browser that handles everything you type, who owns it is a fair thing to ask. So Opera is the feature-stuffed one, the browser that treats itself like a gaming rig you can tune. That's 4 browsers now, and 4 times the same engine underneath. The next one finally breaks the pattern, because it's the reason that engine exists at all. Safari, Apple's browser, and the quiet giant of this whole list. Apple built it in 2003, and it's the default on every iPhone, iPad, and Mac, which is the only reason it's the second most used browser on Earth, even though you probably never downloaded it on purpose. Safari runs on Apple's own engine, WebKit, and here's the detail that ties this entire video together. Chrome's Blink engine was originally built from WebKit years ago. Almost every browser here traces back to the code Apple wrote. Safari's strength is being tuned for Apple hardware. It sips battery, so your laptop lasts noticeably longer than it would on Chrome. On an iPhone, it's wired so deeply into the system that most people never realize they're using a browser brand at all. The catch is the walls around it. Safari only exists on Apple devices, and it's often the last to support new web features, which quietly drives web developers up the wall. So Safari is the comfortable default you get handed, rather than one you go looking for. The next browser is the opposite of a default. It's the one you have to go out of your way to install on purpose. Firefox. For a lot of people, this is the browser that taught them there was a choice at all. Mozilla, a nonprofit, not a trillion-dollar company, released it in 2004, and around 2009, nearly a third of the internet ran on it. Back then, it was the browser that finally broke Internet Explorer's grip and gave people a faster, safer way online. What makes Firefox special today is what it refuses to be. It runs on its own engine, called Gecko, making it the last major browser on this list that isn't quietly powered by Google's Chromium. That independence is the whole point, and also the problem. Because Firefox does its own thing, a handful of sites built lazily for Chrome don't behave quite right, and its share has slid to just a few %. But every time you use it, you're keeping a real alternative alive instead of handing the entire web to one company. So Firefox is the principled holdout, the rebel that answers to no one. The next browser is built on Firefox's own code, but it pushes that rebel streak to an extreme most people never touch. The Tor browser. This is the one that shows up in every hacker movie, and for once, the reputation is earned. Released in 2008, it's built on Firefox, but instead of connecting you straight to a website, it bounces your traffic through 3 random volunteer computers scattered around the world before it arrives. That's called onion routing, a trick that actually began as US naval research in the 1990s. Layer after layer of encryption, so no single point ever knows both who you are and where you're going. Nobody can trace it back to you. That anonymity is unmatched. It's how journalists, activists, and people under censorship stay hidden online. And it's the front door to the .onion sites that make up the so-called dark web. The catch is that all that bouncing makes it genuinely slow, and it's total overkill for checking your email. So Tor is the browser that trades speed for complete invisibility. Every browser so far has been some version of new. The last one is where the whole story began, and it's the one everybody laughs at. Internet Explorer, the browser that started the war and lost it. Microsoft launched it in 1995, bundled it free with Windows, and by the early 2000s, it owned about 95% of the internet. It flat out crushed the browser that came before it. For a while, Internet Explorer basically was the web. Then it stopped improving, got slow and full of security holes, and a faster newcomer called Chrome ate it alive. Its blue E logo turned into a worldwide punchline for lag, and its most famous job became the thing you open once to download a better browser. Microsoft officially retired it in 2022 and replaced it with Edge, which, as we now know, is really just Chrome wearing a different coat. So there's your list. 8 browsers, and almost every one of them is running the same engine, chasing the one Google built. Which browser are you watching this in right now? And would you actually switch? Tell me in the comments. And if this finally made the whole browser mess make sense, subscribe. There's a new one every week.